First off, let's start this off with a prayer. Scotty, if you can lead us in a prayer, and Bill, if you will do the pledge for us.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day that you give us, God. Thank you for watching over and protecting us through this week, Lord. Lord, we thank you for the liquid sunshine that you're giving us, God. Just watch over this meeting and give us the knowledge that we need. Father God, and we just thank you for everything that you're doing. And all the people out there, Lord, that needs help, God, just get them help. Just thank you. In holy name we pray.
Stand, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. And can I have a motion for approval of the March 25th, 2024 minutes? Got a first and a second. That'll be Bill, our Commissioner Winters, and Commissioner Gilbert. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. And let's start right into the agenda items. Chief, you're here today, and let's ask you the main and major questions, staffing updates. Where are we at?
Right now, our staffing updates, we're 4 short, 4 people, which is pretty good over in the last year and a half. 2023 alone, we was around 17 just in 6 months there, 2023. So we've got about 4 short right now is all we've got. So we're hoping we can start up I want to go ahead and start up another rookie school first of the year, kind of get that filled in and get back on track. So that's on staffing.
Has anyone got any questions for the chief on staffing? With no other questions, let's run the next one. The move from the Inman Street to Minnis preparations. Where are we at on that? I know that we're going to a smaller building, so there's things we're going to have to move along to other places.
Yes. Right now with the Inman Street, a few issues, of course, is the parking lot right now. Continue to have issues with the parking lot, but we're slowly trying to go through and kind of do some cleanup now to prep for that. Some of it's loose equipment that maybe it's older that we don't need anymore, but we still got a lot of equipment in there that will have to go with it, that we'll have to spread out to other stations. So, but other than that, it's trucking along. It's looking really good. So,
and do we have a possible date on when they'll be finished with the bill? I don't even know if they've actually started.
The last I heard. So,
okay,
that's the last I've heard.
I understand they've been looking at that plans now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably haven't see it yet. I don't know how much they're going to do or what they're going to bid out. I understand that they're looking at, so evidently they're probably looking at the earthwork first there and go there. So only thing that I would like to recommend through this committee is the property line on that side goes about 30 foot back into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And, if we're going to use, we need to use all the property that we have. And so they need to start sloping that thing back from the line down instead of going outside of the wooded area. And like they did, they need to do what they did with the apartments over there next door. They need to go all the way down and slope that thing down. But we need all that property. There's no use leaving 30 foot up there on the back side when we can use it for parking or whatever. So we want to make sure probably when they start doing the grade work on that, that the city knows that. They said they're wanting to do the most of that themselves. I know. Do you know anything? Have you heard anything? But anyway, that's what I understand.
Commissioner Thompson, I would imagine they'll probably need a lot of that anyway, just turn that ladder truck in. But Chief, are you aware of anything there?
I'm sorry, what's that question again?
How far back they're going as far as
grading? Oh, no, on the building?
Yes.
yesterday.
Grade work is what we're talking
Oh, no,
about.
I don't know. I'm not sure on the grade work. Yesterday, we were out there, and they've already got stakes down on that side of the building, marked off. So I'm not sure if that is the building itself, but it's out in the grassy area. It's not in the back at all. But that could be just strictly the building.
Chief, is that something you'd be able to get with us on and just
Yeah.
see how far back they're gonna go?
Yeah,
Because
I
it'd
can do
be
that.
interesting just to know that, especially for Commissioner Thompson.
Yeah, there's a fence back there, and that's where the line is, goes to the fence. And, that's 30 more foot that could be used, and, that would help a lot especially on that big ladder truck.
That'll be good. We've got the mayor's assistants here today, so I'm sure they can relay that also to the mayor also.
But yes, they've, the little area in the back of the existing building there now, we've kind of, that's leveled off now, nice for parking. And then they've, the parking on the south end of the existing building is already gravelled up, and we've kind of moved equipment in there just to make sure we can clear it, and so far so good with it.
You definitely need more parking out there, but
Yeah.
Commissioner Alford.
Could we not, as a committee, recommend that we clear all that all the way back, like Howard said, to the property line?
we
I
can
think
do
need to
that.
Recommend that to the city or whomever, and get those woods cleaned out, like Howard says, and slope it like we're
We
supposed to.
can.
Yeah, I
Commissioner,
think
do you want
it'd
to put
be a
that in a form
recommendation.
motion? Form motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chief, do you have a timeline when all of this, with working with the city, when it's gonna happen? When are you gonna move out, city moves in?
The only timeline that I've heard is going to be about this time next year.
Year.
Yeah, it's about a year from now.
How about the road construction and all that around there? That's gonna be totally completed before you all move in,
Yes.
correct? Is there any widening gonna happen there, with your vehicles going in
Not
and
that I
out?
know of. We got the school down there with the park view, so we just have to be a little cautious through there. We came through yesterday, and it was school time, and they're already out in the middle of the road on that, both ways.
Yeah.
So turn lanes and coming in and out. So, but no, I don't know of anything on the roadways.
Commissioner Thompson.
The only thing on the roadway right now, we've asked the city to take that in. See, they've annexed that right at the corner of Powerline Road where they build apartments there. And we've asked them to take that, Minnis Road all the way to 64, not the property, but the road itself. And so that's in the thinking, I guess. They haven't given us an answer either way at this time. But we have asked them to annex that part of it, if they would. If not, I guess that'd be left up to the county, and I've talked to Tom about that too, about, on the bottom part between, the school and the fire department there, where there's a lot of water and stuff that holds in there, and that's wetland down that area. But, I've asked him about widening that road up through there if we had to, if it stays within the county. So I know that's on his mind, so anyway, I've got one other thing I need to bring up. They bidded the parking lot out. And when they bidded the parking lot out, I've had some contractors that bidded that went by there, and they said, hey, I thought they were supposed to take the dirt all the way down to the curb. And I said, well, I don't know what the bid read. I didn't read the bid on it. And he said, well, according to the way I read the bid, said it was supposed to be taken all the way down to the curb, and he said, that's the way I bidded. And of course, it's about 7 foot of dirt left on there, at least 7 foot on the back side there. So anyway, I don't know what the problem was there or whatever, but I know we've got a contractor that's pretty upset over that because the way he bid to take it all the way down to the curb. So that's something we might look into. I don't know what happened there on the bid, but Ware was the one that got the bid, and they done a good job, but they left about 7 foot of dirt on it. You kind of have to go uphill to get into the parking lot. So anyway, I want to bring that up because it was a complaint, and so I wanted to bring it up to make sure that we looked into that and make sure that those bids were done right. Thank you.
Commissioner Offer.
Chief, you mentioned something a minute ago that hit me. Did you say that when school is out, they're parking on both sides of Minnis Road?
Yeah, let's say it took 2:30 today when you come through Minnis Road, the entrance, they're already wrapping around the school and they're out in the road going north and south. They're in the turn lane going south.
Is that going to hinder your ladder truck coming out of there and going down
Any
Minnis?
truck.
Any truck?
Any truck. I mean, that's
a major problem.
I counted 15 or 20 cars in the roadway yesterday, so.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that in the morning, and got that. Morning's not as bad as the evenings, but yeah.
We may want to talk to Mr. Collins and see if there's anything we could do to maybe put an offshoot on that, maybe widen that just a little bit for those cars or the school system or something. Because when he mentioned that, I think it'd be a super major problem. If the truck can't get out and get to a fire somewhere. I think somebody needs to look at that and maybe try to study it a little bit and see if we can widen the road just enough to get these cars off Minnis Road, at least.
Commissioner Thompson.
I mentioned this to Mr. Cash. There's plenty of room in there to put another road in there right beside that. There's plenty of room there to do that. So they could be, in a long stretch, would take all those cars off the road.
That's what they need.
And so that could be done either way. Tom could maybe widen that a little bit and do something, or the school could put another lane in there. It's 3 lane right in that area. It's a turnoff lane there, so there's 3 lane in that area though. So, of course, if they back on down towards Jackie Evans, why they would run into the 2 lane part of it.
And of course, the existing trucks that's already there, you got fire station already there with a rescue truck, an engine out there, and a tanker. So it's already, they're already doing that now, but kind of weaving through that. So then you're doubling the apparatus out there. So,
But
Mr. Winters.
at a time when everything hits, when you got to have your movement and school's going on, could they do something like Hopewell's done, that stacking where you get everybody off the road into that? If there's extra space for road back there, they could stack during that time, and they come out one way, and those cars are going that way. And one at Hopewell's turned really well.
yeah, we had that problem when you turned on Freewheel. It was out in that fixed it.
If we could,
That really
maybe
did. That
that could
helped
be
huge out there
an
for
answer to
Georgetown Station.
I think we've always kind of worried about this kind of transactions where you have all that movement. And it has to be emergency for you all, and parents are out there in the middle with their kids. Teachers trying to get out at the end of the day at the same time. Some of that going on, so hopefully it can be done.
Commissioner Alford.
I just suggest, Mr. Hughes, that you talk with Mr. Collins and see start looking at some kind of plan, because we got time with the big truck, but we got a minor problem now with the smaller trucks. So I think we need to at least start looking at some kind of plan, see what the road department would suggest doing. So it'd probably just require you to talk to him or Howard or somebody. Who's ahead? That's
Tim Mason.
Tim Mason. That's something you may want to put on the road department or a road committee agenda.
Commissioner Alford, you're all over exactly what I was thinking. I don't know if we need to make a request from this committee to request the road committee to look into that, or
We can
if we can just ask Barry.
Could we ask the school system to take a look at what they can do with Mr. Collins?
And they may be able to. The school system, I was lucky enough to be able to fill in as an SRO over Parkview for about a week. And I can tell you they're already double stacking in there. It's the traffic, the only way you could do that would be to add more road frontage there, road in there coming in. All right. Any other questions? Seeing no more questions, I'll move on to the next, but I will just make a note that I'll be talking to the Commissioner Mason about setting that on his next road agenda. I agree totally. It is a safety issue at this point, or will quickly become one, especially when we get that other department there.
One
Commissioner
thing we need to think about it, they've closed the asphalt plants down now, I think, winter. So, they might be able to do some grade work by now, but, doing asphalt, it'd be in the spring of the year before they do that.
Seeing no other questions, I'll move to agenda item number C, which is fire jackets. And I was the one that had that add on that we'd had some statements made about our firemen being cold out in the winter. And I asked the chief if there was any money in his budget to possibly get some jackets for these firemen, and their budget is empty at this point. Now, I think you said, what was that price of those jackets to get everybody a jacket?
It's right at six.
So
6,000.
we're looking at about $6,000 that we need to find to try to help these guys stay warm while they're out on fires and wrecks and, helping people. So, that's where we're at. I mean, I'm hoping that we can get a motion and send it to the finance to put them on the work to find the money. Finance chairman.
I'll make that motion.
All right. And I have a second. All right. With a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
Could I ask one?
Passes. Whoops, got a question.
Do you have the money in your budget?
We still do our uniforms through Centos. We still have that and other things that we have to get through between hats and T-shirts and things like that. So we just got to prioritize what we've already planned for. This was just something that we brought up to.
The fire department
We
is
have jackets.
The fire department's a little unique. They have a system where they rent their clothing. It's not bought, so it's rented, and they have to plan for that, and that's where their budget normally goes. Do you think Louis can find it? All right, with that, any other questions, or is there any other business for anyone? No other business. Let's move on to communication. Anyone in the audience that you'll have 5 minutes to speak? Bentley? Troy?
I think we ought to hear from the press. Press have anything to say?
Seeing no other people here to talk, at this point, we'll call this meeting to adjourn.